Hello everyone, it's me, Ian and Elizabeth here, and we hope you're all doing well. We just want to give you an update of what has happened at Wick Sheriff Court today being the 2nd of September 2025, and we went to go and appear for our criminal case brought against us by the Crown. This is to do with events that are alleged to have happened at the level crossing, the private level crossing at Altnabreck. That's correct, isn't it, Liz?
That's right, yeah. Allegations that have been made against us and charges that have been brought against us by the Crown.
We're just going to give you a few updates of what has actually happened. We have noticed there's some, as always, false narratives and some distorted information coming out from the fake channels. So we're going to update you with the truth and what's really going on, aren't we, Elizabeth?
Yep, we're going to give you the truth about what really happened today at Wick Sheriff Court. So, as we said, we attended today, which was fixed as our trial date today, and we arrived at Wick Sheriff Court, and we were waiting to meet with our solicitor, because at that time we were being legally represented by a solicitor, a defence solicitor. Yesterday, we received an email from our solicitor with a document attached, and the solicitor asking us to read through the document and for us to tell her whether we agree with the items listed in the document, which was items of evidence, whether we agreed to that evidence, that it was non-contentious. Our solicitor sent this email to us the day before the trial at 3:15 in the afternoon, and said in her email we had till 4 o'clock to respond to her.
And we were out, weren't we? We were out at the time.
We weren't home at the time, so we didn't get the email till we returned a few hours later after receiving it.
That's right. So it was very inconsiderate to expect us to consider such important information in less than an hour, in 45 minutes. That's right, isn't it, Elizabeth?
Well, that's it, being required to give a response about evidence, whether or not we agree to it. 45 minutes to give a response before 4 o'clock, and the day before the trial.
Yeah.
So
she basically said that she agreed with what was written in this evidence, and we read through it and we totally disagreed, didn't we?
That's right. The solicitor's view was that there was nothing contentious in the evidence and that she had no difficulties with it. However, when I read through it, both of us read through it, there were various items of evidence that we didn't agree to and we considered to be contentious.
Yeah.
So we identified the specific items of evidence and we responded to our solicitor yesterday.
That's it. But on most occasions, we hardly ever heard back from her with emails, did we? We never got, hardly ever got responses to our emails. If there was ever a consultation booked on the phone, it would be a rushed one, and it would never be longer than 15 minutes. Also, we weren't contacted when we were meant to be, were we?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the defence solicitor, we've had concerns about for many months, to be honest. As Ian said, we would make contact with her by email, and we either never got a response from her to our queries, or if we did, they came sometime later, but more often than not we just didn't get a response to our emails at all. A few months back, after the trial date had been set, our solicitor said that a member of her office would contact us to go through the witness statements that had been made, the witnesses for the Crown.
Well, this has happened twice, isn't it? We've been told twice that we were going to be contacted by the solicitor's office for us to go through witness statements, and this is going back.
That was back in, I think, March. That's when we.
The first time we got told this, and it never happened the first time, and it never happened the second time, did it? And you know, that was concerning. But also, I mean, when we spoke to her recently, she couldn't even tell us what witnesses were being called. She didn't know what witness statements were going to be used, did she?
That's right. I mean, that, you know, the trial was today, but me and Ian were still none the wiser as to which of the Crown's witnesses were being called to give evidence. We just felt so unprepared, and we just felt like we lacked so much information about our defence case and how it was being conducted, and we weren't happy with it.
And the rudest person to us in that courtroom, in that court today, was our own solicitor. Would you agree?
That's right. When she first arrived at court,
And it was late as well, wasn't it? Really, it was like, you know, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, she arrived at 10 a.m. We'd arrived at 9:15. And as anybody would, who's facing trial, would want to speak to their defence solicitor beforehand when they've got queries and questions, and we requested a private consultation. But she was abrupt with us. She refused to
rude.
She refused to have a consultation with us. Everything was hurried. She just wanted us to get into the courtroom, and we were unhappy with that. And we said, look, before we go in, we want to sit down and speak to you in a consultation privately, not in a public corridor, speaking to our solicitor with members of the public and other members of court staff walking around. It just wasn't appropriate. But she refused to allow us a private consultation.
That's right. And I mean, you know, I mean, today the prosecutor fiscal, he was friendly today, and he had a friendlier chat with us than our own solicitor, the prosecutor fiscal. So, you know, when the prosecutor fiscal's being nicer to you than your own solicitor, you know it's time to change solicitors, don't you?
That's right. So what happened is that we told our solicitor that we wanted to go through the email she sent to us yesterday about the evidence that we didn't agree. We wanted to do that privately, not in the corridor outside the courtroom. She refused to do that, and then she said, if you're not happy with me, find another solicitor.
Yeah, and
we were quite shocked by that.
So you were shocked when she said that by how abrupt she was being, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, when she said that to us, you know, if you're unhappy with me, find another solicitor. We were, like I said, that was very abrupt, and what we were asking for was to have a consultation with our solicitor. At that point, we realised she wasn't the right solicitor for us, and we said we withdraw our instructions and we will seek alternative legal representation.
A few times leading up to this point, we've been very dissatisfied, not being contacted, being left in the dark, not knowing what's going on at all, always last minute, always rushed. So we had a big discussion after we had this email yesterday, saying that she agreed to certain things that were absolutely non-factual, and things that we completely disagreed with. And me and Elizabeth had a discussion saying, wow, okay, it's time I think to possibly stop instructing her. But we decided to see how it went in court when we got there, see what her attitude was like. But it's the same as usual. Once again, she was rude, and she said she ended up saying, like you just said, oh, you know, maybe you need to find another solicitor, and we were happy with that. And we at that point we said, yeah, we
withdraw our instructions.
We withdrew our instructions to her, and that was that part of it. So basically, what ended up happening was pretty much what we just discussed we were considering doing, but it ended up unfolding by itself. So thank God it, happened in the way it did, really, because it ended up, I think, being a blessing in disguise, didn't it, Liz?
I agree. I think that's what was happening there. So then we were called in to the courtroom for the criminal matter, and the sheriff presiding made it known that he was aware that our solicitor, his words, had withdrawn her services from us, which wasn't quite accurate because it was us that withdrew our instructions and wanted to seek a different solicitor. But anyway, he then said that because we were unrepresented, he gave us several options of how to proceed that day. The first option is that we could carry on with the trial and represent ourselves. However, he accepted that that probably wouldn't give us adequate time to prepare. The next option he gave us was that we could discharge the trial today and refix a date to the 11th of November, which was the earliest date that he would be available. And he confirmed that it was him that would be presiding over the criminal case because the previous sheriff had recused himself from sitting on the criminal trial. Now, so anyway, we're no longer using that solicitor for the reasons outlined. And as I said, the sheriff then gave us those various options, and the decision we made, which we believe was obviously the best decision in the circumstances, is that we wouldn't go ahead with the trial today. We would need time to seek another solicitor, and the sheriff accepted that, and his decision was to discharge today's trial and to fix a new date for the 11th of November.
That's it. So that's what we're waiting for now, trying to find a proper, tidy solicitor that is got your interests.
The interests of justice. A solicitor who follows the rule of law and has the interests of justice at heart and wants to represent the first duties to the rule of law, and it's about the interests of justice and it's about the truth. And unfortunately, in this situation, our experience with the solicitor that we had was that she wasn't seeking the truth. So we're happy about the outcome today. You know, we didn't feel prepared anyway for the trial because we weren't getting any contact or communication from our solicitor.
No.
Everything was hurried and last minute with her, and it just wasn't satisfactory. So today,
we just felt like we were walking into it blind, didn't we?
Yeah,
she wouldn't tell us anything.
Yeah, we just didn't know what to expect today. We didn't even have an opportunity to go through the witness statements, or the evidence that we said we didn't agree to.
And we did actually ask. We asked if she had amended the information we give her about the email that she sent, that we said we weren't happy about because it wasn't factual, and she wouldn't even answer. She wouldn't even give us a straight answer, would she?
No,
it's ridiculous.
She never really gave us a straight answer. She always sat on the fence and avoided giving us direct answers, and that's not right. You know, you can't leave a client in the dark about the process and the evidence and the defence case. We didn't even know what defence case she'd sent to the Procurator Fiscal.
No.
And it's our defence. So there you go. That's what happened today, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like this video. Please subscribe. And by doing so, you're helping us get the word out. And a lot of people understand. A lot of people do understand. With everything going on in the world at the moment, with all the corruption and all the lies and all of the big money makers on this planet pulling their strings of corruption and using people like puppets. A lot of them are sold out, especially the devil's advocates.
Especially the devil's advocates.
All the best, guys. You take care.
Bye-bye.